How's everyone doing? Hope you're alright. It's Cody back again, dropping yet another video. If you subscribe to my channel, you know that I do videos on things I've got experience of and everything. Also do interviews with the media. I'm dropping this video today. It's going to be on spice and spice the epidemic across prisons in the United Kingdom. I just got out last Friday from a Cat B Forest Bank prison, which is run by Sodexo Justice Services. On the 29th of January, sadly, a lad's overdosed and died in the prison of overdose. He was believed to be taking drugs, including spice. Well, from the people that I spoke to that knew him, he was taking spice. He had a lot secreted up his arse as well, apparently. His family are refusing to believe that he died of a drug overdose within the prison, but the fact that he was on G1, which is the recovery wing, people recovering from alcohol and drugs problems, and the fact that I led to believe he was on a methadone program as well, which would show that he was using hard drugs, obviously heroin. Yeah, and he was taking spice as well, apparently. I mean, like I say, his sister and everyone refuses to believe that now. My thoughts and prayers are with his family, and I'm not gonna go against what they're saying, but as a prisoner that speaks to the screws and speaks to the people that know him, you have a feel for what he was actually getting up to. And like I said, the fact he was on G1, which was the recovery wing, tells you everything you need to know. Then you go on to a guy called Jordan Hyam. There's a sickening, sad, tragic picture of him laying in a hospital bed in intensive care. I believe his heart actually stopped after taking spice. I think he's only 20-year-old, the lad. My thoughts and prayers are with his family. I hope to God he pulls through. Spice is taking lives, and it's the source of all evil within prisons. This Jordan Hyam, he was 20 years old. He's 20 years old. He's still alive at the moment. He's on life support. He's got tubes all down him. Apparently his heart failed and they had to restart it. It just shows you what's going on within prisons. I mean, there is an epidemic, and for all these contracts and stuff that these private prisons have got and stuff, the fact is the staff are not, they've got low morale, they're understaffed, they're overstretched, and they're massively overworked. There's not enough screws to stop what's going on within prisons. It's not worth their job to go out and carry out searches and everything else. I mean, I've not been searched while I've been in. There are grasses within prisons where you do get one or two that get spun. It's called spun, where security come in and they spin your cell looking for drugs and mobile phones and SIM cards and hooch, which is prison alcohol to those that don't know, and all that sort of stuff. But like I say, spice within prisons, what is it? Well, it's a synthetic cannabis. It's got a chemical makeup, so it's known as THCs. It's made up of cannabinoids, but what it actually is, they're mixed with chemicals and stuff. And each batch is different. No two batches, to my knowledge, are the same. And you're playing Russian roulette when you take these sorts of drugs. I don't take drugs myself. I was piss tested while I was inside for the first time. The reason I was piss tested wasn't because I was under reasonable suspicion or anything, or I've got a history of drugs. It's just the fact of I was a cleaner on H1, which is next door to G1, and I was a cleaner on the induction wing. Spice it's big business in prison, massive business. It's making a lot of people very, very rich. There's so many drugs within prisons, spice obviously being the main drug of choice within prisons, that the overall price of spice it's come down. The price of spice there's that many drugs, because obviously if you're the only person on the wing that's got the drug, right, you can sell it for a premium. If you've got 3 or 4, person B can undercut you, person C can undercut person B and everything else, so you get little drug wars going on. It's the debts within prison, prisoners that owe prisoners money for spice is through the roof. That's leading on to people getting swelled with piss or hot water with sugar in it and stuff. Assaults, people having the telly stolen, slashed, stabbed. The people that are on this spice, that become addicted to this spice, you might just think, oh, I'm just going to have one little hit. You know what I mean? To like, you give into peer pressure or something like that. You have a little blast on it, right? It will take hold of you. It will take hold of your life. You'd steal from your own mother to get it, right? It's as simple as that. It is that addictive. I spoke to a lad that was inside twice now while I've been in, over the past 2 years, and two different kids that were hooked on heroin said, oh well, I went on to fucking spice to try and get off myself the heroin. They're now addicted to spice. What does that say for the potency and strength and addictive nature of spice? It's consumed him, it's consumed his life. These people that are on the spice are getting about like zombies. The rattling for the drug, the body's craving the drug, and if they've not got money to buy it, they'll go out, they'll get it on tick, then they're in debt, right? And then there's someone else selling it on the wing, so they get in debt to them. So then they're owing two different people on the wing for fucking spice. And then what'll happen is both dealers will be on the lad's case. Where's me fucking, like, you've not had money sent in to me. Why aren't you ordered me stuff on Canteen? Oh well, I've ordered the other drug dealer's stuff on Canteen. Hold on, you owe me for 2 weeks, but you fucking owed him for a week and you're paying him. What the fuck? And then it's leading on to slashing, stabbings. They're being. These lads are they use the scapegoats, man, and they're getting about like fucking zombies on the wing. You see people comatose, fucking laid out, people are collapsing. The actual extent of it on the medical staff within the prison is astronomical. The medical staff within the prison, I've got to give them a due. They work their asses off. They're overworked, man. Fucking hell, they're overworked. It's non-stop, and we call it the top bit of the jail, yeah. G wing and H wing, right? Is G wing, G2, right? The wings split up into 4, yeah. You've got G2 detox, right? You've got G1, which is a recovery unit. From detox wing, eventually you get siphoned into G1, which is the recovery unit, right? H1's the induction wing, and H2's the nonces, right? The rapists and the nonces, yeah, the VPs, vulnerable prisoners as they're known. But yeah, the toll it's taken on the medical staff within the prison is astronomical. It's costing them a lot of money and stuff, and a lot of time, where there's people that, like, there's a lot of people in prison with mental health issues and stuff, and like people that have got mental health issues are then taking this spice, and the chemically imbalance in the brain, right? They need medication, right? But they might be going untreated because the staff in prisons are not mentally health trained and stuff, so they're taking spice, which I've seen nice, decent lads in the daytime become monsters when they've had the drug. People that won't say boo to a goose are kicking off, the rattling, the stealing from other prisoners, the stealing from the friends within the prison to feed this addiction and stuff. And like I say, there's a lot to be said for it. It's on the outside, it used to be cheap, but since it's been banned, the overall price of the drug's actually gone up. But again, because there's that many drugs in prison, people are like, you're getting smaller amounts for a higher price, but the overall price of the drug is still coming down because there is that much of it in prison. I hope that makes sense to a lot of you. Another thing as well within the prison is, I got my canteen last Thursday, right? Obviously, I was getting on a Friday morning, so I ordered some munchies for the lads on the canteen. This is what I got in my canteen thing, a sheet. How to treat people that have had an overdose of spice or new psychoactive substances, NPSs as they're known. We're prisoners. We're not trained. We're not medically trained to resuscitate and revive these people that have been on spice and stuff. And there it is in black and white, giving you an information booklet how to look after people that are under the influence. Because the simple fact is, the staff are a non-visual deterrent within the prisons. They're a non-entity for the most part, and it's not the prison officer's fault as well neither. The prisons are understaffed, they're overstretched, and they're overworked. So what they're doing, yeah. Listen, I'm speak out for prisoners, me. Right? I'm trying to highlight what's going on in prisons to try and get better, like, thing. If we want better thingy for the prisoners, you know what I mean, better treatment, better conditions, and everything. But yeah, this drug it's scary to say the least about what it does. The thing is as well, the spice, to the people that are taking it, right? They might, the first time they take it, they might not even know they're taking it. What'll happen? The lads think it's funny. They'll make a burn, so like a roll-up cigarette, yeah, to those that don't know, and they'll put spice in it, right? Then they'll go into one of the lads' pads and say, "Oh, do you want some of this?" And the lads, burn's a big thing in prison. Like, everyone wants to smoke, right? So they'll take it and next thing you know, they're addicted. not straight away, obviously, not off one drag, but it gets older. Do you know what I mean? Little by little, it gets older people. And the thing is, for those people that are taking spice, it doesn't just affect them. You're playing Russian roulette with your own life, but you're also there's a domino effect onto your family. Do you understand? And like I say, I'm not stupid. I'm not wet behind the ears. I know what goes on in prison and stuff, and I know like the spice is big business, and there's a lot of people making a big profit on it. But when people are dying on it, that's where there's got to be a line like drawn, surely. You know what I mean? Like the fact that the prison are handing out like information sheet for prisoners on NPS, new psychoactive substances, so formerly known as legal highs, so main thing being your spice, and how to put people in recovery position and all that stuff. We're not medically trained, us, so you shouldn't be asking us to do that. But the simple fact is the medical staff are stretched beyond belief. They do a very hard job in very difficult circumstances. They're dealing with everything from mental health complaints to people slashing up. People that have taken the spice might feel the need to slash up to release some pain. They're bleeding everywhere. They could fucking cut an artery and they could end up bleeding out and dying. They're getting attacked because they owe the money. They're attacking other people. I've seen a lad that used to be my friend, right, who was on the cleaners, right, was addicted to the spice so bad that him and somebody else went into a cell, and a lad that was dealing it, they turned him over for his spice because they had no money to give. They was on their arse, so they went in and they took the drugs. They took the spice off him. A lot of lads now have got spice secreted in their arse. That's or the prison pocket, as it's known, because obviously you don't want to get caught with possession of it. It's just a big epidemic. It's behind a lot of the problems that stem from like violence to self-harming to suicide attempts to overdoses, to deaths to assaults on staff are all, I'd say a decent percentage come from the use of spice. It's a big problem. And Liz Truss, the Justice Secretary, who talks the talk and talks and talks and talks, but hasn't got a fucking clue what she's doing. She's in over her head. She's useless. I saw while I was in prison, I saw her go on Good Morning Britain, which is on ITV from 6 till 9, and she's going on about, oh yes, we're introducing 2,500 officers and mandatory drug testing. Mandatory drug testing is not a new initiative that you've rolled out, Liz, right, you stupid cow. Mandatory drug testing, or MDT as it's known within prisons, came into force in 1996 and it's been in force ever since, right? But the fact is, the prisons don't want to pay out for it. Right? I got pissed once. I've been in a couple of times now. I've been pissed once, and the only reason I was pissed wasn't because I was on a drug-free wing or anything else, but simply because I was on a cleaner and I was due to be risk assessed, and that's why I got pissed. And my piss was clear, as was my conscience. I don't mess with that drug. It's a disgusting drug. It's ruining families. It's ruining people's lives. And when they're coming out, these people that are still addicted to spice. Example, when I got out on Friday, I'm not going to mention the kid's name. There's a kid that got out on Friday. He was going straight to Berry New Road to go and score fucking drugs, spice, because he was addicted to it. Now what's going to happen? Then to feed that habit, right, the kid was on his ass, to feed that habit, he's going to keep going out and committing crime. When he commits crime, he breaks the terms of his licence, he goes straight back to prison. He's got a warm cell, a roof over his head, 3 meals a day, TV in his cell, use to mobile phones, drugs, legal alcohol, and legalise. It's not a deterrent, is it? It's really not a deterrent, and it's scary. The fact that what's happening to people are getting about like zombies on these wings off this drug, and it's just wrong, man. The screws, right? I've got to be honest. I don't even blame the screws. The screws, like, for them, I think a lot of screws sometimes, I think they go into work and are scared of what's going to happen. Not all of them, obviously, but some of them are going to go into work apprehensive about what the day is going to bring, because prison's full of angry lads full of testosterone, illegal drugs, new psychoactive substances, so your spice and stuff, mental health issues, and the staff are not mentally health trained, neither are the nurses, and yeah, it's badly run from the top. It's just the mind beggars belief about what this drug's doing to people. But it's like I say, it's, if you was on the outside, right, obviously the price of spice has gone up on the outside as well, because obviously it's been banned now, so it's been pushed underground, right? So it's going to lead on to bigger problems. It's cheaper, it's more potent, it's more dangerous. Um, it's just the way it is. And in this later on this year, they're bringing in non-smoking within prisons, so that means that people are going to have spice, have no tobacco until the burn starts getting back in, and they're going to end up smoking fucking spice raw, which is going to lead on to all sorts of problems because you're smoking it in its purest form. Then it's not even watered down with tobacco. It's going to be pure, and it's going to cost more lives. The ministry. Some of my funniest times were in prison, but there's nothing funny about spice. And don't take it. If you're going to go to prison, do not take it, please. I beg you, please do not. Because just like the beginning of the pictures at the beginning of this video, you'll see what happens to people. One's on intensive care, the other one's dead, and you're playing Russian roulette. Please don't do it. Upstairs for thinking. Don't do it. You're going to have a massive effect on your family if you do take it and you do overdose and you do die. Think of your family, please. Your kids, your family, your loved ones. It's not worth it. I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for your time. Speak soon. Bye.